Good morning. Welcome to the Weathers Channel Morning Live. My name is Autumn. This is my husband, Richard. We go live here on our YouTube channel every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also catch us on our other channel, Watch Autumn Keto, where we go live every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Not this Wednesday because I'm traveling for work. If you caught us today, that's the only day this week you're going to catch us. Yeah. So welcome.
And where are you going for work again this week?
Back to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
any more than that? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm literally just getting on a plane and they're taking me. And when I land, I'm going to be like, no, I should probably look at the paper and see where I'm supposed to be going. I know I'm flying into the correct airport. That's all that matters. Literally after that, I have no idea where I'm going.
Sounds like an adventure.
Gigi's here, says, good morning. Weather, what's the forecast? Sold out.
Good morning, Gigi.
Yeah, so the weather is amazing here. It is sunny. It is like, I mean, it gets warm in the middle of the day, but like the mid 80s tops, you know? But you know, fall in Louisville, Kentucky is turning out to be super pretty.
Yeah, and it's lasting longer than I
thought it would.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she said.
For
your enjoyment is here and says, how was Wicked? It was amazing. What did you think about Wicked? I thought it was great. I've seen it several times. You know, what did you, Richard, think about Wicked?
I also enjoyed it. No, it was a great story. I really appreciated telling the story from that angle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's nice how you can understand the mind of a supposed crazy person.
Mm-hmm. But I thought it was really good. You know, and here's the thing. I listened to all of the soundtrack so much. For a song or for a play like Hamilton or Rent, the soundtrack is the story. They just go from one thing to the next. But for lots of other musicals that I forget about, it's like there's like talking in between the songs. And I'm like, oh yeah, this did happen, didn't it? Get out of town. So that was always good to see. I mean, our seats were amazing. I want to get like 5 more rows forward, but they're good for where we are this year. You know, it's a good stepping stone. We're gonna hop again next year.
It's a nice, wonderful little middle spot.
Yes, and really close enough where I could see their faces. Like I could always see them better. Like we could be closer and I could see them better.
To be able to see the musicians.
But
what are y'all doing down there?
But you know, I do want to move forward in the coming years.
I would say of all the plays we've seen together, I would rank Wicked definitely in the top tier.
Okay.
I would probably say Hamilton probably first.
Of course.
But it's probably tied up there with.
What else? I was like, what else have we seen?
I don't know. It was. I really liked the. What was the one with the girl who went to the city and.
One Short Day, like where
Dolly Parton played there in the movie. What was it? Molly.
What?
I'm trying to think of the first play we went to with.
Hello, Dolly?
Yeah, that's
it. Okay, Dolly Parton is not in there.
It's her name. It's her name on it.
Mom's there. It's beautiful fall day. Yeah, happy Sunday, everyone.
Dolly, get your money, girl. Get your money. They slipping on you, girl.
Joyce is here. Says hello, my amazing work fam and fantabulous fine weather.
I really enjoyed Hello Dolly.
I did enjoy Hello Dolly too. I didn't know what it was about. Yeah. Dustin's here, says, good morning, Whack Fam and Weathers. Happy Sunday. I was thinking today that Keto Palooza was this coming weekend. Lies! Was excited on my live this morning to be corrected that it's in 2 weeks. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, it is not. I know for a fact it's not this coming weekend. I know exactly when it is, though.
We're resting.
Brenda's here. Says, hi, everybody.
Everybody get rested.
Hascat Sophia, aka Penny's here. Good morning.
Hascat
Thank you. Says, congratulations on being sold out. Thank you. I am very excited. I'm just so grateful. I'm just so happy. And I'm also just very happy that like the selling portion, the registration portion, the checking the list to see if anybody has added. No, it's gone. It's over.
Now it's just about enjoyment.
B16 is here. Says happy Sunday. I pray everyone has a blessed day. Same to you. Hey. Shelly's here. Says happy Sunday, Whack Fam. Brianna's here. Says happy Sunday, Whack Fam.
Enjoy.
Joe Ray's here. Says good morning. I'm barely awake. I know. Ain't nobody tell you to live in Colorado. Ain't nobody tell you to be on that time. But I mean, that's okay.
It's a beautiful time. Beautiful time.
Dustin said I need sold out sound effect from Richard about sold out Keto Palooza. I would go with like pew pew pew. Like I'm always the pew. Just one.
I thought you did the other one.
Okay. Just
crescendo.
Just an extra. Okay. Just a Thank you, Brianna. I love that. B16 said Wicked is one of my favorite shows. It is one of my favorite shows too. I really like, so, you know, with there being actual dialogue in the script, I like how the actors can put their spin on things. Yeah, and so the girl that played Glinda was like really like.
I liked that was one of those situations where I liked the songs, but I really liked the story,
the script,
they were telling.
Yeah, I was like, exactly.
Do go on.
I loves me a light skinned Fiero, so you know traditionally all the people that opened the show were white, which I mean don't get me wrong, they were also brilliant and amazing and some of my favorite people. But whenever that we start getting like the characters of different ethnicities, the colorblind casting of it all, Fiero was the guy.
Oh, okay.
You know,
with the hairdo.
Exactly, the guy with the hairdo. Exactly. So, yes. And he was really good. So, yeah, they were all really good.
It was
Here's my whole thing. Cast. Wicked is one of the only shows where, like, I really think I would enjoy being in the ensemble. Like, did you see all the costumes they got to wear and how each person kind of had their own little part? Like, I loved it. I really do like it. It's a lot to change into and out of. I was like, oh, so many costume changes.
The professor was really nice.
Yeah, the goat.
Yes.
Yeah, he was good too.
Really nice.
Marianne Sears says, good morning from Orlando, Florida. Meetup was a lot of fun. Headed back to Jacksonville after the live stream. Yes. So I saw there was like a meetup in Carolina and then apparently a meetup in Florida. Like, Joe Ray said, I've seen it 3 times and I go see it again. Oh yeah, I'd go see it every time it's here. So very serious. Really says, morning, y'all. Hello from sunny Florida. Kim Sears says, congratulations on the sellout. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim.
Brianna said, love Wicked. I've seen it twice on Broadway. Yeah, I've seen it once on Broadway. Wicked was the first Broadway show I ever went to go see.
Well, no wonder it holds a special place in your heart.
I know, right? Plus the music is great. Plus we love Adina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, like
all of those people.
Sherry said, good morning, Weathers fan from Franklin, Tennessee. Looking forward to seeing y'all in the blink of an eye. Oh, don't we know it? Don't we know it? B16 said, how did the name that tune go? I think it went well.
Yes.
Have you talked to Jen? Like, I mean, from a facilitator standpoint, I think it went well. I talked to Jen, you know, she had some great feedback. I talked to Mom, she had some great feedback. You know, like people gave excellent feedback, but overall I was like, oh, that was fun. Yay. So I also think it was fun.
Yes.
So
everybody looked like they had a great time.
Yeah. Hook is here.
Smiles were on Facebook.
Happy Sunday morning, Weathers and Weathers.
Hey,
I've never seen Wicked. If you like a musical theater.
Yes. It's a spin on the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Joyce said, did you get Sean's message about the hotel? So I sent a lot of people actually, an email. If you responded back on the registration survey that you were staying somewhere besides the Galt House, we had like 10 rooms come open. And so I sent an email to just those people saying, we've had 10 rooms come open. Yes. Email me immediately. Maybe you'll get one of them. Maybe you won't. And so 10 people just responded right like that. Yes. Some people ended up, you know, a lot of them booked the rooms, and then I had like 6-7 people that were just too late. But I'm going to check again this Monday, see if any more are available. But yeah, like they got snatched up really quick. So not everyone that wanted one got one, and I'm really sorry about that. But you know, at least 10 more people were able to stay. Yeah. Matreya's here, says good morning.
Radical geek.
Brianna said, I knew a few people that didn't like Wicked because it was pretty different from the book. I tried reading the book. I got halfway through the book and I was like, ooh, this is depressing. So Wicked apparently is based on a book.
Isn't everything?
Exactly. Yeah. But it was
well, the book's always going to be better. More descript.
Yeah. And it was darker. Like this one was like they lightened it up to make it more kind of family friendly.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Like you can't invite your kids when everything's blue and doom.
Have 2 to 3 practice songs. Now that is a great idea.
Whoa.
That is so great.
Man, just
Dustin
for your enjoyment.
There was a small meetup in Indiana yesterday. Isn't Wicked about Oz? Yes, I don't know much about musicals. Yes, it is about the Wicked Witch of the West.
All of us, Keto,
and how she became wicked.
My wife has taken me on so many musicals I've never been on.
I expect the book to be different. So as long as it's good, I'm happy. Yes. I think it's good. So
well, the book's always going to be better as far as descriptiveness and you got to remember.
No, I didn't do that, Jen. I did not have practice songs, but I think that would be amazing. Oh, thank you.
And this is the story of the Wicked Witch of the West. So
yes. So
it's got to be wicked.
Exactly.
Get them jump out.
Yeah. So, Sophia says music makes everything better. I agree.
Yes.
Brianna said,
not in disagreement with that.
The book Wicked is very dark and super political. Yeah, I was just like, I started reading and I was like, oh.
Well,
I don't like this.
The play rubs on all of those topics, but it just like nicely glosses over them with a smile.
Yes.
I was like, ooh, what are we talking about here?
Exactly.
And next topic.
Exactly.
Like, okay, well, never mind.
Silencing populations. Okay. Song,
Like, oh, now we're talking to something else.
Yeah.
Next subject.
Here's the thing, guys.
I really like
I am fully aware because during Name That Tune, I had to tell my family and my friends, the people that showed up, why I was practicing, why we were going through it. And I was like, look, I'm having a conference and it's about the keto diet. So it's basically a health conference, but on Friday we're playing a game, Name That Tune. So they're like, okay, so it's not a music conference or a game conference. I was like, no, it is a health conference. On Friday, we just happen to be playing this game. I am fully aware that music has nothing to do with the keto community in general, right? I mean, but Friday is about socializing, right? And getting to know each other. And this is just the game that we're going to be playing in order to do that. Now, do some people just not like music or not fans of music? Yes. To me, that's tragic, right? But that's okay. You don't have to stay. You don't have to be involved. But this is just for people that want to participate in a game night. The meet and greet is from 7 to 8. Yes. Meet, greet, eat. You know what I'm talking about? But then for those of us that want to stay and play a game about music, honestly, if the game was about maybe history, I'd be like, you know what? Tap it out. This isn't my game. You know, or if the game was about science, you know what? Not my forte, right? So I get it that it's not going to appeal to everyone, but I do also kind of feel like music is universal. Yes. And I like people that are just I don't really know about music, but I'm gonna try. You know, it's fun to just be surrounded by people that love music. That's what I feel like.
And for me, it's all about, I think most everybody on the planet likes music per se. It's just depending on the era and your genre preference.
Yeah.
Because it's you grew up to something. Even if it was a banjo and your granddad on the porch just hitting the beat, and you're like, oh, granddad, that was nice.
I mean, or say it was strictly church music. There you know, go. I mean, there you go. So what I say is this is popular music, right? So it's all sorts of genre, but if that song was popular in that era,
the 40s.
Then it could be included, right? I don't know any deep cuts from really niche type. I'm not searching for secrets. It's this is just popular music everyone might know, you know? And that's where we're going with it. So
40s, 50s and on.
Stop saying 40s.
50s, 60s and on.
Yeah, it's more and on. And honestly, it's through the 90s. Of the entire game, there are maybe 3 songs that were made in the years 2000, right? Because I know my audience, and most people will hit the stride in the 70s and 80s. Even with the few people that came, the 90s was a stretch. Of the 60s, I do have 60s, yeah, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. The 90s was a stretch. They were like, ooh, I don't know this music. And I was like, yeah, but see, there's going to be people my age at Ketopalooza that know this music, right? And so that's another thing that's going to be fun about it, is that it's going to be fun to socialize with people from different backgrounds and different ages. That's actually going to provide you a strategic advantage. The more diverse your team is, the more likelihood that they will have knowledge of the music, right?
So preaching and teaching.
That's all I'm saying.
What day is that?
2 Queens Go Keto says, quick good morning on the way to church. Have a wonderful day.
Hey,
yep, see you real soon. You're right. Joe Ray said, I saw Wicked in the West End in London. It was fun to hear everything in the British accent.
Oh, that had to be interesting.
Yeah, I actually drove, the streets of London, the old part of London, just freaked me out. I went on one of those big red bus tours, which I'm really happy, I wasn't driving, because I'm like, oh my God, these lanes are too small.
It's tight. You can reach out high fives.
And all the turns were not 90-degree angles. You'd have to just veer. If you're coming from this way, you have to turn back to go that way. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, I was like, I can't
handle this.
I can't do this.
Neck of the woods.
Debbie's here. Says hi, Autumn Richard. Hi.
What scared you though? Was it just the old buildings and just the tight, everything feels like it's enclosing in on you?
Yeah, and they're all small. The buildings in England were built in 100. Year 100, not even 19, 100.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't have skyscrapers. Everything was made of stone, and it went 2 stories max, right? Now there is definitely a more modern part of downtown London that's built up, but everything else is just short. and it's all the same color.
Wow.
I mean, it's really neat, but just the streets are so small.
I got you. Like
Jen said, "Oh yeah, I was super surprised that your family was clueless how talented and awesome you are, and that you put on a full conference." Thank you for the compliment. Here's the thing, you guys. Like, I'm a regular person in my family. Like, I am not. Everybody has their own lives. Like, I don't talk about.
There you go.
I don't talk about
it. Key.
You know,
just don't talk about it.
Yeah, because
they don't ask about it,
and it's just the completely.
It never gets known about.
Yeah, and that's just all. Like, we just. I don't even think they know what I do for work. Like, we just know, like, hey,
they just know you're alive.
Literally, it's, hey, Autumn, where's your sister? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, every time I walk into a family event, do you know where your sister is? No, like, we don't even go past that. Like, they don't know anything.
Like, well, and I'm out.
Exactly. There you go.
Now I'm back to doing what I normally do.
But yes, they had no idea. So they were like, you're in charge of the game for this conference? I was like, no, I'm in charge of the conference. And the whole thing? Yes. What? It's just like, okay, I'm not.
You ain't lying. I was like, good Lord. The whole point of tonight was not this. Okay? It's not a history lesson.
But Trey said, but if you have a big old nerd there, it's a game conference by default. Exactly. There are gamers at this conference. Brenda said, music soothes the soul. I agree. Jen said, this is a great alternative for karaoke. I also agree with that. So, Mom said, Jen, I was as well. Uncle Russell didn't have a clue. Yeah, Uncle Russell was like, you're doing what now? She was like, never mind. So
shows how much you ask.
Jory said, I think Name That Tune is a great idea and will appeal to a lot of people. I really appreciate that. Haskins said, Name That Tune was a popular game show in the 70s. I think generally most people can relate.
I think agree. around the Whack Fam ages.
Debbie said, like your shirt, Richard. Look, I randomly be seeing Richard. I see Jen. Anytime I see somebody wearing just the low carb crew shirt, like, it just makes me so happy. But I'll just see Jen in the gym, and she's just like, boop, low carb crew. Or she'll take a picture and post it on Facebook. And I'm like, love that shirt. So
go to my face.
Yes, it is amazing.
It feels amazing.
Pumpnet said, Autumn, we figured out the dog situation, so I'll be there I'll be for sure joining Brian. I love that. Yay! That makes me so happy. Thank you so much.
The gang's back.
Joy said, that's why I'm going to be a helper. Don't know music except Christian music. Yep, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can tell you there are no Christian music songs in the Name That Tune. I know, right?
Yeah,
completely valid genre, just not included in the game.
Put that in there.
Yeah, I know, right? Dustin said, I love when people tell me they don't like my type of music. They think I only listen to death metal, but I listen to everything as long as it's good. Yeah, there's also no death metal because, once again, niche genre, but still.
I need to take over these lists.
Yes. Hascat says, Joyce, me too. I know the 80s and before, but the 90s and on and Christian music. Yeah, and there's plenty. Like I said, most of the music is from the 70s, 80s, and
like your
the 90s.
Childhood music.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? And so the name, like the game title, Name That Tune, is a little bit of a misnomer because I also am aware of the game show Name That Tune, and it's a wagering show where they're like, I can name that tune in 3 notes. I can name that tune in 2 notes. Like, this is not a wagering competition. It is going to be a team-based game, really called like Guess the Song, right? So you will be split off into teams, and a song will play for 3 seconds, and you will be able to write down the title and the artist, right? So it's not 2 people or even the groups of people going against each other trying to name that tune in as few notes. It's really just guess the song. So, but it's going to be really fun. Like, per the way that we played it this past weekend, it was really, really fun. So
exactly.
Sherry said, even animals love music. Have you ever seen the cockatiel rocking out to some Queen and another one bites the dust? Interesting side fact, the song my husband walked to at her wedding, another one bites the dust. That's some attitude right there. I absolutely love that. Humor. Shelly said, I love all kinds of music, but naming the band or who sings it, definitely another story. And don't get me started on the lyrics. Exactly.
I said that all the time, Shelly.
So there were some good ones where people knew the songs, but they didn't know who the band or the artist. But the good thing is that'll be like 2 separate points, right? So you definitely get a point for the song, and then but if you don't know the artist, then
that's me. I'll either know the artist and don't know the song, or I'll know the song and don't know the artist.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm shooting for 50%.
Oh, Joyce said, if you're part of the Carnivore Quest family, I'm going to be on Cassie's live tonight. Be praying for me. So nervous. Oh, you'll do amazing, Joyce. That's awesome. I saw you in the pictures of the carnivore meetup in, was it a Carolina?
Did you?
Yeah, I was just like, y'all better get to Carolina. Yeah. Brianna said the streets of London fit horses. That's all that was needed for so long. Exactly.
Need to tear it down.
Can't do it.
Build it again.
Do it.
Redo.
Hooknit said, I love music, but I'm horrible with knowing artist names and song titles. Who wants me to be on their team? Exactly.
Hey, we on the same team. We shooting for 2%.
Yeah,
2% is an A in our book. If we can just get 2% right.
Dustin said, if there was death metal, I'd probably fall on the floor. It's a niche of a niche. Exactly. So that is.
You should do that.
No death metal.
You live in the niche. You live in the niche.
Beth's here says, good morning. Hey, the Wax fam.
Good morning, Beth.
Exactly. Joyce said, heading into church. Bye, Joyce.
We expected that, Joyce. You know, stay prayed up.
Yes, stay prayed up. Penny said, team-based is better. Collaboration helps the memory. I agree. It was so funny seeing people and this is exactly what I was hoping would happen, but I would play a little bit of the song and then they would know the rest of the words and then they'd have to get to the chorus. They'd be like, and
they sing to themselves for 10 seconds.
And I'm gonna, it's, they would sing to themselves till they got to the chorus and they were like, oh, this is what it is. But team helps. And then look, also I was having to develop strategies to get more team members involved because literally in hits of the 70s, in hits of the 70s, my Uncle Russell was the one that was writing down the names and titles. He didn't even have to talk to anyone else. As soon as he heard the song, he was like, okay. I was like, you're supposed to collaborate with the team. Yeah. He was just like, oh, okay, I know all of this.
I don't know these.
I don't need you. I don't need you for this, But what we did, which did make it more engaging, was that every round a different person has to be the writer. That way it's not just one person doing it by themselves. Which hopefully my family is tacky, so hopefully when you're playing with other team members, because the only reason he felt so comfortable excluding them is because one teammate was a sister and another person was a friend. You don't have to. But hopefully as strangers, you make it a point to work together. But he was just like, oh, I know all of these. And I was like, well, thank you, Uncle Russell, but that's not the point. The point is to collaborate. So
look at you.
Yeah, I know.
I love your ideas.
Yeah. Jen says, trust me, it's going to be a blast. I appreciate that much.
Especially with everybody there with the same temperament.
Yes, exactly. Everyone there committed to having a good time. Exactly. But Trey said, I've been in a bunch of video game music and folk music because of my... Ocarina learning just how it goes for beginner music. Yes, once I learn to play, it'll branch out. Wow. Is that an instrument? Is that a genre? What is that? She wants to learn more. Man, TC is here. Says good morning, everyone. Hi, TC. Hook did said, I'm so excited for this. Can't go wrong with music. I had a parrot that loved jamming to classic rock. There's lots of classic rock, right? Pop, rock, smidgens of R&B, drop of R&B, but it's mostly pop, rock, and pop and rock is what it is. Rocks. Yeah, pop rocks, exactly. Because in a lot of time, rock music was very popular. So it's you were listening to a radio station, you could have heard bubblegum pop or a very popular rock song at that time. So. And
back then, radio stations were everything. So
exactly.
Listen to a radio station.
Exactly. Jory said, glad you did a kind of dry run. I'm sure that will help you run it at Ketopalooza. Yeah, even playing with the 12 people that were there, we uncovered some issues, not issues, but some things we're going to need to account for
dry
that.
Runs
and then even more, we're going to need to account for that for the 240, 250 people that will stay. I'm assuming not everyone will stay. If it's all 300, that'll be nuts. But I'll be prepared for that. But some people, I know for a fact, some people aren't even getting there till Saturday morning. Yes, so it's just
and
not everyone.
When you get there, you just want to lay down and chill. You go get your food. You
I'm okay. Don't, go back to the room. Or you just may want to sit in the back and watch.
Ooh,
but
that'll be me.
Yeah, but what? That's how you're gonna watch? Why are your arms folded? I am sick. I'm sick of you. Dustin said, I do a stream once a week with these old guys who did tour managing and roadie work for all kind of well-known rock bands. That is amazing. Geez. I bet that was some time. I bet there were some ingested things on that.
Half the stories they forgot.
Exactly. Right? Those are only ones they remember, right? So,
yes. There's a lot of stories what was that? Was that me? I thought that was you.
Oh, yeah, we did get arrested that one time. That was a close one.
I completely forgot about that.
Oh, okay. Matre said it's a musical instrument. It's a woodwind, flute sound. Oh, if you play video games, Zelda has.
Yeah, I remember. Oh. I said if you carried it around, it was like a little small. It had strings, I think, like little mixed strings. I'm just saying that, like.
You guys,
see, as a former violinist.
Oh, I play the cello. I'm a cellist. Oh my God! Speaking of that, so I have this playlist on Pandora. It's called Belters. And it is basically I should switch it to bangers because at first
screaming
because it was just all songs that I would scream at the top of my lungs. Like I know every word. I love to sing it. But then after a while, I started adding in songs that like if it came on, I'd be like, oh, I might not know all the words. Like for instance, California Love, like by Tupac. I'm like, California Love. Like that's pretty much all I know. California. But like I love the chorus so much that I'm like, hey, this bangs. So it's like I don't know the words, but like it's a banger. Like it puts me in a good mood. But one of those songs that came on yesterday was Stick to the Status Quo from High School Musical. Now that's a belter. Anything from High School Musical, anything musical, I will just sing it out loud. But just the premise of that song was just like, I'm a nerd, but I love hip hop. I'm an athlete, but I like to bake. And one of them's like, I'm a grunge guy, but I play the cello. And I was like, me too. I forgot. I was like, I love this music. Like, it cracked me up. But just speaking of like, I play the cello. So
yes, you did.
Yes. Dustin said not to mention the stories they can't tell. Exactly. These were only the ones that were, safe for disclosure. Dory said, sad we'll be missing Phyllis Hollis. Yeah, Phyllis, Holly, and Mary T. Yeah, but looking forward to seeing the Whack Fam. Yeah, there are some key absences. Yeah. Is that what they call it? Like the NFL game? Like some key absences during this game will be like there's some missing players. But we're gonna have a great time.
You're
but yeah,
so cute.
Yeah. Dustin said, I wish Spotify would have streaming like Pandora. Sometimes I just want to put on a station and let it run. They don't have stations. That's crazy. Like the only reason I tried to get into Spotify, like I had Pandora back in college. Like this was 2006, and so Pandora was the first. And so when Spotify came out, I was just like, do I need Spotify? Like Spotify let you choose songs and make playlists because for the longest time, Pandora was simply internet radio. You couldn't make playlists. You couldn't choose the song. You could barely choose to skip, right? You would put on a station and it would just play random songs, right? But then I was like, oh my God, Spotify, you can choose the songs you want. But then I still never let go of Pandora. And then eventually Pandora got that functionality and it still has the stations. Like literally, Pandora has like 20 years of music history on it, like of my music history. And I'm just like, I can't switch over. So.
Honestly, I think I did 2 years of all of them. I was on Pandora first, and I was like, I like this. And then Spotify came out, and then I went to that, and I was like, oh, I like this. Yeah. And then iHeartRadio came out. Yeah. I was like, oh, I like this.
Then Apple Music. Yeah.
And then I went back to Pandora.
Yeah. So I've always had Pandora. So
I've been used to all of them.
Yeah. So when we got together, I was like, I have like premium Pandora. There's a family plan. Like, let's just add you on to the family plan because we're a family now, And so that's what we've been doing. It's just on the Pandora family plan.
Back used to Pandora again.
Matre said, yeah, that Phyllis going to Hawaii and having fun. Is that what she's doing? That changes everything.
We're gonna have to call.
I thought there was some hardship.
We're gonna have to call her.
Not that she's actually having a good time. Cindy says, hello everyone. Better late than never.
With you, Phyllis.
Dustin said Mary T gave her ticket to Adam from Keto Couch Potato. Yay. He'll be coming out. He has had his channel since I started Keto like 7 years ago. That's amazing. Yeah. A lot of people transferred their tickets to other people. The transfer portal is closed. So a transfer portal is a college term. That describes when athletes transfer from one school to another. So yeah. But all that is closed. So yeah, whoever, if you ain't on the train, it has left the station. Okay. So I know some people are like running beside it, trying to reach. I'm like, we'll miss you. See you next time. But it's gone. So like, I'm excited for everyone that is going to be able to be there.
You're adorable.
So, yeah. Jory said, how dare she pick Hawaii? As I'm saying, like, wait a minute, that now I'm feel slighted.
Hey,
same thing with Mary T, although she already knew about her vacation before this. So like for some reason it knows better. Me just finding out about Phyllis is just like, it's unsettling right now, you know, but I guess I wish her the best. So
he was too extra.
Dustin said I used Pandora till Google Play Music came out, then they closed it down and I switched to Spotify. Yeah. Like Amazon has a music thing. So many other people have music. Like, no, it's Pandora.
Everybody now.
It's Pandora for me. Like, would you like to start a 7-day free trial of Amazon Music? I would not. Thank you. So it's don't. So, but yeah. So actually, I was just listening to Pandora because I'm opening up like swag. I'm in swag organization mode.
I have not noticed any of this stuff.
I literally was just opening up Meat Sticks singing "We Don't Talk About Bruno." So you know,
that I do enjoy.
It was a wedding day. Yeah. So, but I mean, we got to get back to it. So that's what I was going to say. Like, this is my weekend in town before I go out of town all next week. And I was like supposed to be getting a lot of work done. Well, yesterday we had the play, which don't get me wrong, was amazing. But I'm like, oh, that's 4 hours I could have been using working, right? And then today we have the taping. So I'm like, yay, like I love the taping, but I'm like, why does it have to be this weekend? Like, the weekend before I go out of town. So I got to get to work. So
I'm saying the same thing.
We have lots to do before like I leave, before I gotta pack. Like there's just a lot of stuff that has to happen today. No, because I leave super early, so I've got to pack today.
Go in the garbage bag.
And a sack with a stick with a handkerchief. Just, you get on my
They'll pick you up.
Okay. Bye everybody.
Of course.
I don't know. Maybe Mom will go live on Wednesday. I have no idea. But knowing her, probably not, right? So you'll definitely see me on Sunday, and by then I'll be in a panic because Keto Palooza will be the coming weekend, right? So all right, have a good day, everyone, and we'll talk later. Bye.
Bye.